Great morning. Great morning. Great morning. You guys come on in. I'm starting at IG. Come on in. Come on in. Hey, everybody. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. I'm super excited for this new year and all that God is doing and all that's transpiring. God is absolutely amazing. And so I wanted to make sure that I came on today. I've not been going live regularly. I'm not sure what God is getting ready to do with my live schedule. I'm just, waiting to see from him. But I had to come on today. I had to come on today. I had to come on today. And so, y'all, I'm telling you, there is a word from the Lord. And so, what I want you to do is go ahead and share this live. Go ahead and share the live. And while you guys are sharing, I'm also going to share. I'm not on my regular schedule. Nothing is regular. Everything has shifted. I don't even know what regular is going to be anymore. But I do know this. I do know that there is a word from the Lord. So I definitely want you guys to go ahead and share this call. Great morning, April. How are you, beautiful? So good to see you this morning. Hey, Christina. Good to see you, gorgeous. Yes, yes, yes. My riders, honey. Them two, my riders right there. Come on, you guys. Come on, come on. I'm going to share and you share with me. If you could assist me in sharing, that would be great. Okay. We're sharing because there is a word from the Lord, and you want this word, and you want those connected to you to get this word. My system is moving slow, y'all. Come on in, you guys. Come on in. Oh, Christina, I already sent it to you. I mean, you already on. Oh my goodness. It's moving slow. Okay. All right, all right. I have shared on um IG and I've shared on Facebook. I have not shared to groups. So those of you that are connected to me and are in groups, honey, please share with the groups. Share it with the groups so that we can get the word out that we are live, that we are live. Hold on. God is amazing, y'all. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Okay. So I have shared. Listen, you guys, this weekend has been an amazing weekend. I have just been absolutely full. all weekend long, but especially yesterday. God has been faithful. He has shown up. He has shown out. He has done what it is that he does. And I am in awe of God. But I set some expectations for the year. I set some expectations for the year. And when God told me that it was the year of fruition, when he would bring things into fruition, I definitely knew that it was going to be amazing, but I did not know that it was going to kick off like that. For the first time in a long time, I'm excited about church. I'm excited about what God is doing. I have a spirit of expectation about what God is doing in this season as it relates to ministry, but also as it relates to business, as it relates to relationship, as it relates to family, as it relates to my physical fitness and transformation, as it relates to my finances, as it relates to my impact in the world. And that is an amazing thing. You know, this morning as I thought about, God, what is it that you want me to say to your people? He said, tell them that you will see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. You won't have to wait till you die to see God's goodness. You don't have to wait till you transition to see God's goodness. Literally, you're going to see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. So this is the time to put forth before God your petitions, those things that you desire to see happen in your life, in your marriage, in your relationships with your children, those things that you desire to see happen in your business, with your finances, those things that you desire to see happen on your job, those things that you desire to see happen in your life, period. You need to put them before the Lord, because you will see the goodness of the Lord while you are yet in the land of the living. And many times people get saved and, their focus is on when they die, one day in the sweet by and by. But I came to tell y'all today that this is a different dispensation. That's what I hear God saying. It's a different dispensation. Like literally, you're going to see change happen so quickly. You're going to be trying to figure out, when did it change? What happened? How did you get here? You're just literally going to look up and the change will have taken place. Now, this is a time, especially if you have children in that 18 to 28 range, 18 to 28, 29, 30 range. This is the time to really put them before the Lord, because let me tell you something. There's a generation that we think we lost, but God didn't lose them. So God is drawing that generation back to himself. He is drawing that generation back to himself. These are the ones that have left the church. These are the ones that have been in the streets. These are the ones that have been dealing drugs. These are the ones that have been doing anything and everything that they thought they were big and bad enough to do. God is drawing them back to himself. And the key is, we cannot get in God's way. Sometimes as parents, we get in God's way because we have what we think they ought to do, and we have how we think they ought to do it. But baby, if you will let God have your children, let God have your children, he will draw them unto himself. And you will truly see the goodness of the Lord manifest in their lives. You will see it come to fruition. And I don't know about you, but I love my children. They are my hearts. Listen. And I want them to have a relationship with God. I want them to know God. I want them to have a personal encounter with the Most High. I don't care about them having an encounter with church. That's not the thing. It's an encounter with God. The problem is, we have so edified religion and church that we are forgetting about God. We're so worried about religion that we're forgetting about God. I know that sounds strange. Like, How could we be so worried about religion that we forget about God? We get more caught up in rules and regulations than we do in the movement of the Spirit of God. We get more caught up in what they should not be doing. Don't do this, don't do that. Then we get caught up in get a relationship with God, get in his presence. So we find them rebelling. But they're not rebelling against God. They're rebelling against religion. They're rebelling against hypocrisy. They're rebelling against tradition. They're rebelling against all these things that people have said that they had to do in order to be with God, in order to be saved. They're rebelling. I want you to know that God knows exactly what your children need, and he knows how to get them there without you in their ear, without you nagging them, without you trying to force them, without you giving them ultimatums. God knows how to draw them to himself the same way he knows how to draw those of us who are adults who've had some negative encounters in the house, right? In the church, those who have seen their gift being manipulated, or those who have been shut down because of their gift and people's insecurities, those who walked away from the building because they said, I don't want any parts of it. Not that I don't want you, God, but what your people are doing, I don't want it. But what God is doing is he is launching a revival. And this is a revival, the likes of which we have never seen. We've never seen, not in Azusa. We've not seen a revival like the revival that God is launching. This is a revival that will not cease. It will not stop. It will be an ongoing revival. It will not just be a revival for a certain number of days. It will be a revival of mind, body, and spirit and soul. Listen, literally, people are going to be walking revivals. People are going to be walking revivals. They're going to walk into a room and a revival will break out, and people will be trying to say, well, what happened? How did this happen? Because the revival showed up. Revival is not something that is external to us. Revival is something that is us. Let God make a revival in you. Let God revive you, and then you be the revival wherever you go. I'm telling you. I have had a heightened sense, um like I've just been on, ooh, like anticipation, feeling that anticipation. You know what it feels like when you're in a constant state of anticipation and expectation? That's been me. That's been where I've been. That's where I am. I'm in a state of anticipation of what God is doing. And I'm not just talking about revival in the church house. I'm not just talking about revival in his people. I'm about revival, period. In every area of your life, God is reviving you because his desire, his will for you is that you see the goodness of the Lord while you're still in the land of the land of the living, where you're still breathing and walking and talking. And you don't have to wait till you die to walk the streets of gold. God said, I want you to create streets of gold. We don't have to wait until we die to be in the presence of God. He wants us in the presence of God now. Mm. Yesterday, as I was thinking about the day, there was a song that came in my spirit that really summed up what I feel, and what's been going on with me. And the song is, You've done more than I ever expected. And that's what God is doing. We're in a more than I ever expected season. God is bringing to fruition your prayers, your secret prayers, your private prayers, your prayers that were sealed with tears, shed in your bed in the middle of the night while the house was still and everyone was asleep. Prayers, unspoken prayers, prayers that never crossed your lips but have been in your mind. Prayers, prayers that have been in your heart, prayers that have been passed down generationally, prayers. You're getting ready to see those prayers fulfilled. You're getting ready to see them come to fruition. Affirmations that you've been making, you're going to see them come to fruition. You're going to see them manifest. You're going to see them fulfilled. But what makes 2025 so different? It's different because we're in a new year. Oh, it's not just because we're in a new year. Yes, the new year marks and signifies a shift, right? Whether you're talking about according to the Hebrew calendar or the Gregorian calendar. Yes, it does. But it's not about the shift of the date, it's about the shift in you. I woke up at about 2 something and had to go to the bathroom. And while I was in there, I took my phone in and I just began to think about the day. I began to think about all that transpired. And I said, God, you're so amazing. And he took me back and he took me back to instructions that he gave me. And he took me back to things that he's told me. And he said, listen, listen. Mm, because of your obedience, there's a revival that's going to spring forth because of your obedience. Listen, the thing about it is this, y'all. Um, I don't always get it right. I'll be the first to tell you, I don't always get it right. And I've gotten some things very wrong, particularly as it relates to my marriage, as it relates to following. I've gotten some things very wrong. So when I said that I had to die, 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 die to myself, that was serious. I had to die to myself. I had to die to my dreams and my aspirations. I had to die to it being about me. I had to die to it being about my husband doing everything for me. I had to die to that. I had to die to that so that God could reposition us, so that God could set in order our house, so that revival could break forth. Normally, when we have service, my husband will, ask me to preach, to add what God was speaking to me about the message. And yesterday, he asked me to do the call to discipleship. And so, when he announced, I'm going to have my beautiful wife, my other half, Apostle Dr. Veronica Johnson, come up and do the call to discipleship. Um, I stayed focused on my assignment and I made it about my assignment. And my assignment was the call to discipleship. And literally, that's what transpired. People stepped into a position of discipleship. We had 5 people join the church. 3 of them were young adults. And when I tell you that God is getting ready to blow those young people's mind with what he does for them, I mean that. There's something about being obedient to the Spirit of God that opens up the door for him to do things for you that you've been wanting him to do, especially when you give him your will. And instead of it being about you, it becomes about what he wants for you, what he wants you to do, where he wants you to be, how he wants you to show up. Nothing about me is traditional, and it never will be. Um, but I'm called to a people who have been turned off by tradition that's not producing change, tradition that's not producing growth, tradition that's breeding itself, but it's not breeding God's expansion, God's life force, God's goodness in the land of the living. The enemy has never been concerned about us going to church. You know, he don't care if you go to church as long as nothing changes. You know, he's concerned about change and transformation. And this is a time of transformation. Each new year, we think, okay, this year, new you, new year, new me, right? Each new year we're like, okay, I get a fresh start. But the beautiful thing is God gives us a fresh start daily. If the word of God says that we have brand new mercies every single day. So at any point when we want a fresh start, we can get that fresh start. All we've got to do is submit ourselves unto God. All we've got to do is repent and turn to him and away from whatever was drawing us away from him. That's it. That's it. It's not complex. It's not complicated. You don't have to lay on the floor for 5 hours saying no, 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 not to get a fresh start. All you've got to do is repent and turn to him. Because turning to him means that you turn your back on the things that are not of him. We don't have to focus on what you can't do, what you shouldn't do, don't do, don't do, don't do. Let's focus on what we are to do. Turn our face towards God, our hearts towards God, towards what God desires for us. And watch God be God. Not only in our life, but in the lives of those that we love. As I began to lay out the vision God showed me for 2025 and submit my 2025 unto him, God just began to do exceedingly and abundantly above all that I could think or ask. I watched God take away my sense of desperation. Yes, sis. Yes. And that's what it's all about, you know? The thing that God has probably shown me the most over the past 2 years is that I don't have to make things happen, that I can trust Him to do what He does. I don't have to make it happen. All my life, I felt like I had to do it because if I didn't do it, it would not get done. I had to make it happen because if I didn't make it happen, nobody else would make it happen for me. Um, all my life, I have been the one that had to go first and um, set a standard and make things happen and create the path and all my life. And even um, when um, I found my daddy um, and my family, I felt like I had to make it happen. I had to make the relationships work. I had to make the relationships be. I had to make it happen. But when you feel like you got to make everything happen, what you're telling God is, I don't trust you. I don't trust you to do it. I don't trust you with my heart. I don't trust you with these relationships. I don't trust you. So, the end of 2024, probably the six last 5 to 6 months of 2024 was about me having to learn to surrender, that I don't have to make it happen, that what's supposed to happen will happen. Um, Not to the extent where I'm not responsible for doing anything or we're not responsible for doing anything, but allowing God to naturally do some things. I think, particularly as Black women, we have found ourselves making stuff happen for so long, for so many people, that we honestly feel like if we don't make it happen, it's not going to happen. But the truth of the matter is, in order for other people to come forward, we've got to fall back. Why would anybody do anything if they know we're going to do it for them? We have to fall back. And it's not just women, but particularly I'm talking to us as women, and especially as Black women, because we have been the ones who have had to carry families, and we've had to figure things out and be single mothers, and it creates a pattern in us that um, is controlling, whether we acknowledge or to recognize it or not. It is. And so when people talk about being in their soft era, hmm, being in their feminine era, they're talking about coming out of all of that masculine energy that we were raised to walk in. We were socialized to do that. Our culture created that in us. it created go get it in the girls, and oh baby, somebody's gonna do it for you, for the boys. And it's a wonder that we have the conflicts that we have in relationships. We've been trained to be hard. We've been trained to make it happen. We've been trained, to get it done. And so many times mothers who have been the victim of this very thing have perpetuated it in their sons. So busy coddling them and protecting them, and I don't want anything to happen to my baby. That's my baby. That's what they become. Babies waiting for someone else to show up and mother them. The problem is God is not trying to send you a man that you have to mother. He's trying to send you a man who can lead. But because we're so used to leading, there's a clash. I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. The best thing that could have happened for me and my husband was our granddaughter's coming. That was the best thing that could have happened for us. Best thing that could have happened for us. And I know that sounds strange, but it's the best thing that could have happened for us because it gave us something where we both had to try to get on the same page. And we did. And we did. I know that sometimes in marriage, um, we find ourselves as those strong, independent Black women thinking that we got to get the relationship there. We got to move the relationship along. We've got to let him know what we want and what we need, and we've got to do it. Hmm. But the truth is, if he's who God sent to you, if he's who God gave you to, he'll know what you need. You won't have to tell him. But because we're so used to having to tell everybody what we need and what we want and what we will and what we won't, we miss it. And sometimes those men, we alienate them. They got to hear from God. I'm so glad my husband heard from God. I'm so glad I heard from God because we would have messed us up. We would have messed us up. Hey, beautiful. Hey, Kim. Yes. Yes. Come on now. Yes, April. The thing that has kept us together is God put us together. Like we both have absolutely no doubt that God put us together. None whatsoever. Even when we looking at each other when we were acting the craziest, and we saying, God, I know you lying. I know you didn't do this. This what? God, now you know me better than this. Well, he does. I said this in my post, and hey Phoenicia. I said this in my post, and I want you all to really hear me. I want you to hear me. I want you to hear my heart. Hey, Catherine, Dr. Betts. I want you to really hear my heart when I say this, because I don't say it to be mean or to put us down. I say it as a mother of uh, a young Black woman who's very much like her mother, who is very much a go get it, make it happen, who is very much, hold on, babe, who is very much she's gonna get it done. And watching her go through God shutting down her, she's gonna get it done. watching her be frustrated the way I was frustrated, not being able to make stuff happen, having to rely on other people when everything in you does not like asking for help, let alone doesn't like needing help, let alone having to ask for help or having to accept help. You all, God is shifting us as women. He's shifting the men back into their rightful position, and he's shifting us as women. We've carried stuff that we weren't supposed to carry. We weren't supposed to have to carry it, but we carried it because we had to. That's not that's not where we are today. That's not where we are today. And what that means is it's going to change our relationship dynamics. Yes, sis. Trust him with all of it, every single piece of where you are. Get out of God's way and let him be God. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm watching my daughter and I'm watching her watch me. I'm watching her watch me evolve. It's so funny. Kim said, she's evolving in leaps and bounds. I can feel it for her. But I'm watching her watch me evolve. I'm watching her watch her mother, who she's known all her life to be a certain way, be a way that she's not accustomed to seeing her mother. I'm watching her watch me do things that for the majority of her life I did not do, would not do. I'm watching her watch me let God reconstruct me, reconfigure me, and take me back to how he created me and not how life and circumstances shifted me. And I'm watching her shift. And I'm watching her evolve because she sees that it's okay. It's okay to evolve. It's okay to not have to do it all. It's okay to need help. And I'm watching him use her to teach and align her brothers. God's vision for us is greater than we can imagine, but it requires us to die, 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 daily, daily to self. Mm. For those of you who have not set your vision for 2025 yet, and you've been waiting for the time to do it, this Thursday, this Thursday, I'm going to be doing the vision setting workshop this Thursday. I'm going to do the vision setting workshop at 6 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central. It's about a 2.5 hour workshop, and we're going to hear from God first and foremost. Because this is not about us just setting the vision, it's about us hearing God and writing God's vision for us for 2025. Because if we just write our vision, we'll miss it. We'll miss it. It's about hearing God's vision for us in 2025 and then writing that vision, creating the visual of it. That when you look at it, it evokes those emotions and you feel it. It is $50, y'all. It is $50. And I'm telling you, it's going to be like the best $50 that you could spend. Because when I tell you that what God has been doing is beyond words, my daughter and I sat down and we started doing the vision. Now, we didn't get finished. We didn't get finished. I didn't get finished. That's what I'm gonna say. I didn't get finished. Um, yeah, the 9th, January 9th. I didn't finish. But the parts that I did, I was like, ooh, that's good. God gave me a map. He gave me a map. He gave me a financial map. And now it's a matter of creating the visual images, my vision board. It's mapping out the year so that I know each month, what it is that I am. Oh, that's the wrong one. Hold on, y'all. What it is that I am doing, what I need to do. It is me letting God lead me and guide me. But y'all, I'm telling you, God is listen, he's going to give so much clarity to you. And then he's going to give you the how. And it's going to just come together. That's why vision setting is so important. The word of God says, my people perish, not because they don't know anything, not because for a lack of vision. Where there's no vision, the people perish, right? Once you get the vision, the knowledge is easy. He can send the knowledge once you get the vision. Tonight at 6 o'clock, we are doing Oh Taste and See. Oh Taste and See. Health and wealth revival. That's what it is, a health and wealth revival, right? Oh, taste and see. Because the truth of the matter is sometimes we gotta taste and see for ourselves. The word says, oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. Babe, I'm telling you, try him for yourself. I didn't say try religion. I didn't say try church. I said try God. Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good and his mercy endureth forever. Yes, sis, he's shifting those to the next. And it's not even a level. This is a dimensional shift for those who are ready to go. And check this out, y'all. And I'm gonna wrap up. But I gotta say this. I gotta say this. We spend our lives trying to go through tough stuff in private, looking like we haven't gone through it. But that is not what Jesus did. He didn't go through this tough stuff in private. He went through it very publicly. From betrayal, to flogging, to people not believing in him, to people questioning him and doubting him. He went through it very publicly. It's what we call the Bible. Moses went through it publicly. Abraham went through it publicly. And we all read their stories and we're grateful for their stories, but somebody needs your story. Somebody needs yours. Not the prettied up, gussied up version with the makeup on, but the real deal. It's going to save someone's marriage. It's going to save someone's life. It's going to save someone's family. It's going to save some young person who's suicidal and think that they're not going to be able to make it through. That's what those testimonies are for. The word of God says that we have overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimonies. But nobody wants to tell the testimony. Nobody wants anyone to know what they've gone through. Nobody wants anybody to know what they've done. Everybody wants to look like they've always had it together. I have it. And I don't have it together now. I still mess up. I still fall short. And it's one of the reasons I think that I'm a lot for a lot of people, because I share the stuff that nobody wants to really deal with in public. We want to deal with it with our counselor and our therapist, but we don't want anybody else to know that we went through it or we deal with it. But the truth of the matter is this, and I don't care who thinks what about it. Like, you know, I say what God tells me to say and I do what God tells me to do, regardless of what anyone thinks. Because what I've learned is when I do that, it impacts other people's lives, not just mine. It's not for me to be on show and display and because I just want to be seen. I know that it impacts other people. If God tells me to share something that I do not want to share, that I would prefer to just keep to my own self, it's because someone's dealing with it or they're getting ready to deal with it. And they need to know that someone else has dealt with it. They need to know that someone else has made it through it or is going through it, or, they need that. They need to know that there is a living, breathing example that they can look at of I can make it to the other side. For my daughter, I am a living, breathing example that you can make it to the other side, that you can change, that you can have a healthy marriage. And not because I put up, the smoke screen and mirrors. If anybody knows me, my children know me. They know their mama. They what they mom know what their mama will do, what their mama won't do. They know their mama's mood, attitudes. When I'm upset, even if I don't say nothing, they know their mama. And they hold their mama accountable. They'll say, Ma, you being too hard. Ma, you being selfish. Ma, you got to allow change. How about we let 25 be the year that God brings to fruition all the things that He's promised us because we're so radically obedient to Him, that we surrender and submit ourselves, that we allow Him to do surgery in every area of our life, finances, our bodies, our minds, our emotions, our spirits. How about we let Him do that? Everybody want to go get a BBL. I'm getting a BBL. I'm getting a BBL. I'm getting a BBL. But your thighs don't match. How about we do transformation so that our thighs can match the other changes that are happening in our lives and in our bodies? How about we stop being lopsided? How about we stop that? How about we stop just looking for the quick fix and look for the fix that's going to be a lifestyle? A lifestyle is different from a diet, but it requires vision. It's time to set the vision, write it, and make it plain. Say that so that those that read it can run and not faint. It's time to set visions as families. It's time to set visions as couples. It's time to set visions as ministries. It's time to set visions as businesses. It's time to set the vision. so there will be no division in the vision. I pray you guys sign up for the vision setting workshop. We're going to do it on Thursday night at 6 p.m. Eastern time, Standard Time, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I may do one on Saturday as well, Saturday or Sunday. I just got to see. But right now, the focus is Thursday. If you're ready to set the vision, go to bit.ly/Dr. V Vision Setting. bit.ly/Dr. V Vision Setting. There'll be two options. There'll be the $50 option, which is the workshop, and there'll be a $100 option where you will get the workshop plus a 1-hour individual session with me to walk through your vision, to talk about strategies to fulfill the vision. So I'm just telling you, Kim said, I'm signing up on Thursday. All right, Kim. I know that's right. Kim's like, oh no, I'm getting in. I'm getting in. And Kim knows because she's done it before. She's done it before and she knows what happens. She knows what happens when you write the vision. When you make the vision clear, you get the vision from God, right? You write it and you make it clear. Baby, you accelerate. You accelerate it coming to fruition. 2025 is the year of fruition for whosoever will. Yes, sis, for those who are ready to go. Kim said, you always give clarity. It's time. It's time. All right, y'all, listen. Go register for the class. And I want to invite you. If you're in the Panama City area tonight at 6 p.m., we will be meeting at Fresh Start Church for Oh Taste and See Health and Wealth Revival. Oh Taste and See Health and Wealth Revival at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. You want to be in the place. We got some things to taste. I got a package. Got a package from our CVO, a package with a little something special in it. Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. That you will have an opportunity to taste and see if you're in the area, right? And listen, there's so much going on, y'all, but I want to share this with you. I am looking for 10 people who are ready to go on a health and wealth revolution. You're ready to go on a health and wealth revolution. You're ready to revolutionize your health and you're ready to revolutionize your wealth. And even though you can't be here today, those 10 people, when you sign up, you'll get one of these sent to you. Michael, do they want this?
They want it.
They want, you want it. You want this. You, especially my coffee drinkers, but even if you're not a coffee drinker, you want it. 10 people. I'm looking for 10 people to take their health and wealth to the next dimension. And we're going to send them one of those little packets so you can taste and see that the Lord is good. You guys, listen. I love you guys to life and life more abundant. Have an amazing, incredible, and epic day. If you want to know more, get with me. Inbox me, call me, text me, and let me help you start your revival in your health and your wealth. You guys be blessed. Mwah. Love you to life and life more abundant.